For Public Service Commission docket 1735-1, application of Rocky Mountain Power to decrease the deferred EBA rate through the energy balancing account mechanism. Why don't we start with appearances for the utility?
Good morning, Yvonne Hogle on behalf of Rocky Mountain Power, and with me here today is Mike Wilding, our witness who will support the stipulation this morning. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. For the Division of Public Utilities?
Good morning. Patricia E. Schmid with the Attorney General's Office representing the Division of Public Utilities. With me as the Division's witness in support of the stipulation is David Thompson. Also on the phone are the Division's consultants from Danemark Energy Advisors, Dan Kaler and Philip DiDomenico. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. For the Office of Consumer Services?
Yes, my name is Stephen Snar. I represent the Office of Consumer Services. I'm with the Attorney General's Office. I'm here to represent the office today.
Okay, thank you. For UIEC?
I'm William Evans for the Utah Industrial Energy Consumers. I'm here to verify that although we have not signed the stipulation, we have no objection or opposition to the Commission accepting it, and here to enter the appearance and verify that to the Commission. I can otherwise be excused if you don't mind.
If that was your only reason to be here, then does anyone object to him being excused at this point? Okay, thank you, Mr. Evans.
All right, thank you.
And then before we move forward with witnesses, is there any objection to having witnesses present just from where they're sitting and saving any potential questions from us until the end? And I guess rolled into that question is whether there's any intended cross-examination. So, Ms. Hogle, do you have any objection with moving forward that way?
I have no objection, and I'd like to move for the admission of all of the testimony filed in the case consistent with the language in the stipulation.
Okay, and that applies to all parties' testimony?
It does.
Okay. Any objection to that motion? Okay, the motion is granted. And then any further objection to proceeding in the way we just described? Okay, I'm not seeing any. So we'll go to Ms. Hogle.
Thank you. The company calls Mike Wilding. Good morning, Mr. Wilding.
Good morning.
Can you please state your name and your position with Rocky Mountain Power for the record?
Yes, my name is Michael G. Wilding. I am the manager of net power costs.
And if I could just swear you in. Mr. Wilding, do you swear to tell the truth?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
And in that capacity, did you file direct and response testimony and attached exhibits in support of the company's application?
Yes.
And do you have any changes to that testimony?
No.
And do you have a summary that you would like to provide to the commission this morning?
Yes.
Please proceed.
Thank you. Good morning, commissioners. On March 15th, 2017, Rocky Mountain Power filed its EBA application to refund to customers approximately $6.5 million of deferred EBA cost. That $6.5 million includes the following components: a credit of $11.3 million for deferred net power cost and wheeling revenues, a credit of $2.9 million in retiree medical benefit obligation savings related to the Deer Creek mine closure, a credit of $0.7 million in cool fuel expense savings also related to the Deer Creek mine closure, a credit of $0.5 million of interest accrued through April of 2017, a credit of $0.2 million related to an adjustment for sales made to a special contract customer, and a cost of $9.1 million for the Deer Creek mine amortization expense. The refund to Utah customers of $6.5 million was used to offset the energy balancing account in April of 2017, and the current EBA rate is set at 0 cents per kilowatt hour. On November 15, 2017, the Division of Public Utilities issued its audit report of the EBA and proposed a reduction in the company's application of approximately $8.3 million related to the recovery and abandonment costs of the Joy longwall at the Bridger coal mine, and also the replacement power costs associated with 14 plant outages. On December 19th, 2017, the company filed testimony responding to the DPU's EBA audit report, and on that same day, the Office of Consumer Services and UAE also filed direct testimony supporting the DPU's adjustment related to the Joy Longwall. On January 22nd, 2018, the parties met and engaged in settlement discussions and agreed to the terms and conditions set forth in the settlement stipulation, which was filed at the Commission on January 30th, 2018. The proposed settlement results in an additional refund to Utah customers of $2.8 million, and this is in addition to the company's initial EBA application and settles all issues. That additional $2.8 million that will be refunded to the customers will be carried forward in the balancing account and will be applied against the 2018 EBA filing, which will be made on March 15th, 2018. The settlement stipulation was signed by 4 parties, including Rocky Mountain Power, the Utah Division of Public Utilities, the Office of Consumer Services, and the Utah Association of Energy Users. And then, as we heard this morning, the Utah Industrial Energy Consumers did not sign the stipulation, but they do not oppose it. This settlement was negotiated in good faith and is in the public interest, and for that reason, the company respectfully requests that the Commission approve the settlement, all of its terms and conditions. Thank you.
Thank you. The witness is available for cross-examination.
Okay, do the division and the office have any questions for this witness? Okay, and I think we'll save any possible commission questions till the end. Do you have anything further, Ms. Hogel? Okay, thank you. Ms. Schmidt?
Good morning. The division's witness in support of the stipulation is Mr. David Thompson. May he please be sworn.
Sure. Mr. Thompson, do you swear to tell the truth?
Yes.
Thank you.
Could you please state your full name, title, employer, and business address for the record?
Yes. My name is David T. Thompson. I'm a utility technical consultant.
I think your web microphone is not on.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
I'll start over. My name is David T. Thompson. I'm a utility technical consultant for the Division of Public Utilities, and I participate in this docket on behalf of the division. My business address is 160 East, 300 South, Salt Lake City, Utah 84111.
Thank you. Did you prepare and cause to be filed your direct testimony and your rebuttal testimony?
Yes, I did.
These previously have been admitted into the record on the motion of the company. With that, do you have any changes or corrections to your testimony?
I do not.
Do you have a statement in support of the stipulation?
Yes, I do.
Please proceed.
Good morning, Commissioners, and thank you for the opportunity to express the division's support of the stipulation signed by the parties in this docket. The division believes the stipulation, including the agreed-upon recovery of $2,800,000, is in the public interest. The final recovery amount of approximately $9.4 million for the 216 EBA costs consists of the company's original reduction to net power costs of approximately $6.5 million and an additional reduction adjustment of $2,800,000. The company has already discussed the history and the details of the stipulation. On behalf of the division, I would like to note a few specific sections of the stipulation. As per Section 4 of the stipulation, in its confidential audit report, the division recommended further reduction to the energy balancing account costs of approximately $8.4 million. This amount consisted of an adjustment to replacement power costs of approximately $0.2 million for 14 outages, and an adjustment to the recovery and abandonment costs related to the Joy Longwall of approximately $8.2 million. As per Section 7 of the stipulation, signers to the stipulation have agreed to a black box adjustment reducing the original filed costs an additional $2.8 million. The division supports Section 8, which explains the future rate treatment of the adjustment amount. And that concludes my statement.
Thank you. Mr. Thompson is available for cross-examination and questions from the Commission.
Okay, thank you. Do any of the parties have any questions for Mr. Thompson? Okay, I think,
The division's consultants from Daymark Energy Advisors, Dan Kaler and Philip DiDomenico, are also on the phone. Would you like them sworn in case the commission has any questions for them?
we could swear them in if we do have questions, I think.
Okay, thank you. With that, the division is finished.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Snar?
Yes, thank you. Representatives of the Office of Consumer Services have participated in this proceeding, have reviewed the filings made by other parties, have been involved in the negotiations leading to this settlement, and wholly support this settlement as indicated by the signature of the Director, Michelle Beck, on the stipulated document. So we are here to support the stipulation.
Okay, thank you. Anything else from any other party? I'm not seeing anything. Commissioner White, do you have any questions for any of the witnesses?
I don't, thank you.
Commissioner Clark?
No questions. Thank you very much.
Just one minor question, I think, for the utility. The way this is crafted with the 2.8 rolling into the next EBA, if this stipulation is approved, there's not a need for a compliance tariff filing, is there? Or am I missing something?
That would be correct. The only issue that we have is the DPU asked for some adjustments to the tariff, to some of the language surrounding the EBA process, which we agreed to.
Okay.
And so we could still make that filing or do it with the EBA when we make the filing in just a couple months.
Okay, thank
So
you.
we could do that either way.
Does the division have a preference
Yeah, that's my understanding. There'd be one when they file in March.
when they file in March? Okay. Anything further from anyone? Ms. Ogle?
Yes, thank you. I respectfully request a bench order approving the stipulation given there is no opposition and I believe no cleanup items. Thank you.
Does anyone want to speak to the motion?
No objection.
Mr. Snar?
We have no objection.
Okay. Do either of you have any questions with respect to the motion? Commissioner Clark?
No, I don't have any questions.
Commissioner White?
No questions.
Why don't we take a very brief recess then? I don't even want to put a time frame on it because I don't think it'll be very long at all. So we will be in recess and we'll be right back. Thanks. Okay, we're back on the record. And based on the stipulation that's been filed and the testimony that's been presented to us, and particularly based on the representation in paragraph 10, where all of the signing parties agree that this stipulation as a whole is just and reasonable in result and in the public interest, we find that this stipulation is just and reasonable in result and in the public interest. We conclude that this stipulation is consistent with the EBA statute and any other relevant statutes and rules, and we approve the stipulation. An order memorializing that approval will issue shortly. And not seeing anything further, we're adjourned. Thank you.